Now we are at the third experiment, which is basically related to a belt drive here, right? And you know that the belt drives are the flexible elements which are used for the transmission of the power here, and this is the belt here, right? So what we are having here is that this experimentation setup involves the two pulleys here, right? And I believe that although from the appearance it looks that they are of the same diameter, but it's not like that. They could be of the same diameter, right? But they are here of the different diameter here, and the belt is wrapped around this here, right? So the friction exists between the top surface of this pulley or the sheet and the belt, right, which is ultimately responsible for the transmission of the power here, right? So in this experimentation here, right, what you have to do here is that you have to find out the coefficient of the friction between the pulley and the belt here, and the value of the coefficient of the friction is the most important parameter for the maximum power transmission here. So what we are supposed to do in this experimentation is to determine the coefficient of the friction here. Now you see that when we talk about the belt drives, and I have told you that the velocity ratio is an important thing. The driver and driven pulleys are the important thing, right? The driver's pulley is the pulley to which the motion is given, and the driven pulley is the pulley to which the motion is to be delivered, right? So in this case here, right, then the angle of contact is this portion, right, where the belt embraces the pulley, right? The angle of contact is the important parameter for the transmission of the power, right, between the one shaft to the another shaft. We can consider this to be a shaft 1, a shaft 2 here, right, and we wish to transmit the power from this point to that point, right? And now the thing here is that in this particular experimentation here, there is at the back of this thing, please come at the back here, right, this thing, and which we are able to fix the value of this thing, the angle of the contact here. And right now these guys are fixing the angle of the contact value to 30 degrees, right, 60 degrees, right? They are now fixed the 60 degrees. Now the thing here is that in this case the tight side tension and the slack side tensions are the important here. The tight side tension and slack side tensions definition I have already given to you. The tight side tension is the tension where the pulley is driven or given the angular rotation into a particular direction, right? Depending upon the direction of the rotation, we will say is a tight side. For instance, this is the tight side, right? Because here the tension would be, I am pulling it with a more force here, so that this portion of the belt get tightened. It gets, and this is extended over this here, right? So this becomes the tension on the slack side here. So what we are having is that you know the Euler's formula, T1 upon T2 to be equal to e raised to the power mu theta, right? Where theta is the angle of the contact, which you have to put in the radians here. The angle of contact which we have fixed here is the 60 degree, right? Which you can convert into your radians, right? By the usual formula, the usual transformation, and T1, T2 value have to be just to be determined. Now the question is that how to determine the value of T1 and T2 here. that we can do here is that I will fix some fixed weight here, right? And on the other side, I will be just fixing some other weights here, right? And I will keep on fixing the weights until the belt got just start to move onto the this pulleys here. The belt just start to move onto the pulleys here, right? So in this case, now you can say that the belt is just having an impending motion. You just check out in this video here, the belt is just impending having an impending motion. So what you have to do here is that I will just redo it for you, right? So I have fixed on both the two open ends the values of the weight here, and there is an impending motion. Impending motion is the belt is just about to roll over the pulleys here, right? And there is a firm contact between the belt and the pulley here, right? So this is the value of the tension here. So you can count down this, you can note down the value of this particular load and this particular load, right? Convert this, right now they are in the grams or the kilograms, multiply it by 9.81, right? So this is the value of the T1, this is the value of the T2 here. So T1 and T2 values are known to you, right? And you can determine the value of the coefficient of the friction, right? So this is all which you are supposed to do in this experimentation, and coupled with this type that you just draw the diagrammatic or schematic diagram of this particular experimental setup, right? Note down the readings what you are having here, right? Okay, and determine the value of the T1 and T2 here. Okay, so and again in the report you have to write down the learning outcomes of this experimentation and the possible sources of errors and modification. Thank you very much for
As sir explained in the previous part of this video, we are going to calculate the coefficient of friction between this belt and the material of the pulley. So we have one fixed pulley and one rotating pulley. Let's come back to this apparatus, and here we will see that we have one option to adjust the angle. This angle is called as lap angle. So if I am opening it like this and I am setting it as 0. So currently my lap angle is 0. So what I will do, I will fix it to 30 degree. You can see that it has markings 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 like this. So I will set it at 30 degree. Let's come back, and what we have to calculate in this experiment is we have to take different readings. First will be my lap angle. As you can clearly see in the manual, first will be my lap angle alpha, which I have fixed as 30 degree for now, right? I have to calculate length of belt which is in contact with the pulley. So this will be my L1, this will be my L2, right? So length L1 I will calculate, L2 I will calculate, and this weight T1 is fixed in the whole experiment, so I will write it as T1. Now what I am doing, I am putting some more weight on the tight side, right? So I will keep on increasing the weight till the moment this belt start moving gradually, right? So whatever will be the variable value, it will be my T2, right? So once I have all these values, like angle is already fixed, L1 I can calculate from here, L2 I can calculate from here, and T1 I can read from here, and T2 I can read from here. So once I have all four values, what I can do from the manual, I can calculate my theta, right? The resultant theta, which is my 2 into L1 plus L2 divided by D1 plus T. What is T? T is the thickness of the belt which will be given to you in the experiment. These are the values, right? D1 is the diameter of first pulley, D2 is the diameter of the second pulley, and T is the 4 centimeter. So we will be calculating theta using this, and after that, using the Euler's formula, I will be calculating the coefficient of friction between the belt and the pulley material, which will be 1 upon theta and ln T1 by T2, right? So we will calculate it for 30 degree. How to calculate L1 and L2? I will keep on increasing the weight. Let us assume that I have increased the weight, and the moment my belt starts slipping, it will be the value for my P2. So I do one thing. I will just see at what point this belt is touching at the pulley. So for me, currently this is this one. So I will mark this point like this with a chalk or something. Then on the second side, this is the touching point. I will mark this. I will do the same marking here also on the second pulley, this and this. And after that, we will unload this, and we will simply, with a simple scale, measure the length of the belt which is in contact with the pulley surface. So this will be my L1 and this will be my L2. We can unload it, we can make it straight and measure with the simple scale, right? So what we'll be doing, we will be giving you the values for L1 and L2 because we will measure it right here. And the values for T1 and T2, you will be calculating the theta part and mu part. Now, coming back to the back side, for the second reading, I will just change the lap angle to 50. So you can see this, once the lap angle is changed, this time we will need some more weight on the tight side. My D2 value should be more so that the belt starts moving on this pulley, right? So in my table, I will again change lap angle to 50, and I will again measure the length of belt which is in contact with pulley. It will be L1 and L2. We will give you these values. I will measure what is the value of T1 and T2, and again I will calculate theta, and with the help of theta again I will calculate mu. So we will be doing it for 4 different lap angles, which is 30, 50, 70 and 90. If you want, you can do it for 3 because 3 standard value is fine. If you want, you can do it for 90 degree also. So once you have calculated the 3 values for mu, you will be calculating a mu average. So it will be the average coefficient of friction between the belt and the pulley material. That's it. Thank you.